Silas played Silas in the movie.
Silas was Silas and Kay was Kay.
And Kay was Kay. I played Waynette. My name is Linda McClure. And I was a friend of Hal Needham. And thank you everybody. And Hal wrote the part for me, so he told me. And nobody else can tell the story better than Hal. He's gone now, but what a stuntman, what a director, what a man. And all of us who knew him or worked with him, and there's dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of stunt people that worked with him. And how many movies? He's got the longest list in the world of stunt men. And his first film was Smokey and the Bandit directing. And he knew how to have fun as a person, but from being on all those films for so many years, he learned how to have fun with the crew, with the cast, and he made us all a family. Burt had a lot to do with that, but it was Hal. He was the leader, he was the boss, and Hal and Burt were very, very good friends. And Hal got the idea for the movie, and he wrote the script, or he had it written, and his story idea, but he was not the script writer. And but he was a boss. He knew what he wanted. And the wonderful thing about it is neither he nor the editors, nor the stunt coordinator, nor the actors knew for sure that this was going to be a blockbuster. All they knew was that it was a damn good story, and they had a ball making it. And that's the bottom line. Nobody knew. You know, we had a good time, and I remember the wrap party. It was just the most fun that it could be. And we honored a stuntman who had been killed in a film prior, who had been a member of Stunts Unlimited. And so it was honoring him, but it was showing the cast and crew the movie. And that's what they do in Hollywood, is cast and crew screenings. And it's always basically a private party. They still do it today. It's been going on for as many years old as movies are. So we had a cast and crew screening, and of course we loved it. Who are we? We just were in the movie. And this is in Hollywood, by the way. I'm from Hollywood. All the stuntmen generally, don't quote me, are from Hollywood area. And maybe some locals had been hired, maybe some people came up from other states. That is just me yakking. But a lot of people knew Hal, and they were members of Stunts Unlimited, the organization that he formed, the hat which Bo is wearing, Stunts Unlimited. Janet Brady, the double for Sally, ended up to be the first and only, for a while, stunt woman in Stunts Unlimited. And it happened after Smokey and the Bandit. Do you want to come up and share the story? No. Okay. Then I get to lie. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just going to jabber about stuff like that. It's interesting. It's behind the scenes. I know these things because Janet and I became very good friends on Smokey and the Bandit. Actually, we didn't work together. I met her, and we became friends when we came home, meaning the movie was over. And that started a friendship, and that was 49 years ago. Wow. And pretty special people, both of us are, I might say. Anyway, more about Smokey. I was very fortunate to be there for the first 3 days the third day of filming is when I showed up. And because Burt wasn't feeling well and he kind of left the set for a while, I think 3 days total. It was Labor Day weekend. Who was going to work Labor Day weekend? And Jason came into town. Jerry was around, absolutely. He wrote Eastbound and Down up in the suite at the hotel with his band while we were looking at dailies. Do you know what dailies are? Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Every day's filming, back in those days when we didn't have video, had film. And normally if you're in the area, they would what's the word? Transform from film from negatives to positives. And they would have to do it at a company called Technicolor. Because again, there was no video in those days. Nothing was shot like it is now. And there were two editors. One was on the set in Atlanta, and the other one was at Universal. And they worked very well together. As Bo told you, they were nominated for an Academy Award. Pretty cool. Great film, great edited movie. And took 3 days for the transformation or the transportation of the film that was shot and then have it developed, and then the editor in California would put the scenes together. And then the editor here with Hal would look at the dailies. That's what they do in the movies or videos nowadays. And Hal started something that had never been, at least none of us had ever heard of it. He would invite the whole cast and crew every day to the dailies, which was in the bar downstairs at the hotel. So we got to see the rough cuts that the one editor did in Hollywood, and we got to watch each other and watch some of those, well, amazing stunts. I was not there to get to watch all the stunts. I was only 3 days around. Hal invited me to make sure I saw my dailies. And what a time to be in Atlanta. And I did get to meet Jerry Reed, even though I didn't work with him in the movie. We went to see a Braves game with the Cincinnati Reds, who were staying at our hotel. And Jerry got absolutely swamped. We couldn't stay at the stadium. Not a bad story.
Who won the game?
Hell if I know. No. You know it was the Cincinnati Reds. It was the Red Machine back in those days. I'm nothing against the what's the team called here?
Braves. The Braves.
I knew that. The Braves. And it was kind of disappointing. It would have been fun to stay for the game, honestly. You know, I'm a sports fan. But the point is Jerry Reed. Funny. And clever and very smart man. If any of you have heard about him, an amazing musician. And he was, I'd say he was pretty smart in life. All the things he did and what he stood for, his values. And I can tell you that I spent more time with Jerry in my life back then than I did with Bert, even though I worked with Bert in the scene. And one thing nice about doing that scene, I think it was Hal's suggestion. Why don't the two of you go into Bert's trailer, or motorhome, whatever we called it, and work on the scene, talk about it, what do you want to do, come back and we'll do it. That was Hal, that was Hal's direction, come back and we'll do it. But his direction wasn't just to actors, it was the scene, the flow of the movie. He had an idea, even though a lot of it was put together later, because that's what editors do, but they don't do it without the director. So that's just a bit of Hollywood truth. No director, unless he is the editor, will put a whole movie together.
So I thought it was interesting when I first got to talk to Linda. I just assumed that she was from the South because she had an accent.
Do I have one now? Am I starting to pull into it? I've been hanging out with all you Southerners too long.
Well, she's a California girl.
Yeah, I'm from California. Thank you very much. But not a bad thing, except don't go to Los Angeles. It's too crowded. It's a mess. I am not the greatest informant on that, because I was not there that long, but I was a friend of Hal's, and I loved the movie, and I was so proud to be part of it. And I came back on the sixth day or something of the shooting, and what came back with me were some pretty cool souvenirs that Hal put together for the cast and crew.
And so this I thought was interesting because this is Janet Brady and Alan Gibbs coming on set. And that's the only picture I've seen of that t-shirt where somebody is wearing it. But,
it's Smokey and the Bandit, but it was the logo from Gator.
And so we saw that t-shirt, and Linda sent me this.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what the shirt actually looks like. So she still had it.
Isn't that crazy? It's not Smokey and the Bandit face, that's Gator. The movie
so,
he made 2 or 3 movies before, a year before, 2 years
Yeah,
before.
the year before. And somebody that was going to join us and they weren't able to make it was Diana Goodman, who was on the set of Gator. And so she sent me this picture. So is that what familiar?
Now you really know a backstory. I'm talking into my water. We Californians, we know how to do it. And that's just one of the great backstories. I mean, who but the cast and crew would know that t-shirt there never was a Smokey and the Bandit t-shirt that Hal made. Never was, to the best of my knowledge. What'd you say? You got the ashtray, and I got the belt buckle. It's a smoky hat. It's a small little belt buckle, smoky hat. Hello. Smoky hat. And on the back of it, Hal engraved, "Many thanks, No, my thanks sincerely, Hal Needham. In real tiny, tiny letters. Nice, nice. Okay. Silas played my son. We just met today, since 50 years ago, 49 years ago. Now you realize that we're talking about, we shot 49 years ago, that was in 76. The movie came out in 77. And so next year will be the 50th anniversary of the movie. So what else? Everybody who worked on the movie has great stories to tell, and sadly, nobody else is left of the stunt people except Janet. And there's only one other actress besides me that's alive still, and that's Sally Field.
Can we hear the famous line?
Which one?
Yours.
I only have one famous line?
Well, the main one.
Yeah.
Well, why don't you tell me and I'll agree or not?
We might need Tim Phillips to help out with this part.
Okay, Tim, where are you, baby?
Let's do it.
Gorgeous.
Well. How you doing, beautiful? How about gorgeous?
You can't have him.
Well, obviously you can. What are you trying to do, start another race?
And then I tell you to go inside.
Perfect. We got it that time.
And then Silas comes.
And this house comes. Go ahead. I always recognize you. You little devil, you keep me running balls.
Oh, and I'm tripping over the dog. Remember the dog that rode shotgun in the truck with Jerry Reed? His name in the movie was Fred. The dog's real name was Happy. So I'm tripping over him, and the kids are running, and he's trying to push me back, and I say, "Will one of you damn kids get this mutt out of here?" I ought to try acting. What do you think?
And I would say, damn it, bandit, look at me.
Yeah, and then I go, "Damn it, bandit, look at me!"
I find it hard to look at you, Waynette. Especially when you got those things in your hair.
Curlers.
Makes me think you listen to a radio station in Savannah.
Hey! I did it.
What a good, yeah, it took you a while.
Hey, and then I go into the room and you say, this is my home.
Bye. Too much fun. But one thing about being on the set, even though the cameras were rolling and we're cutting it up, I mean, all the actors did. That's the atmosphere that Hal Needham created. It was not tight. I mean, tight like uptight. It wasn't heavy. Great personalities. Hal was very good at choosing people that worked together and worked well. And he knew he had a good script, but again, we didn't know it was going to be a blockbuster. That's all I can keep saying to you. It wasn't until the movie came out in '77 and it started making the bucks real fast. And it was kind of a mind-blowing experience to Universal. Bert and Hal loved the movie, and they both gave up their salaries so that they had more money to make the movie. And they didn't need much back then. 150 million, that's nothing. Nowadays, you're going to talk billions or millions, I mean. But they were convinced that that would help sell it. Can you imagine how rich both of them got from owning part of the movie? And the only other film that year, '77, that made the big bucks was Nathan's Toy Story. Whatever. That's all. The car was the star of the movie. And what are we doing here? We're celebrating the Trans Am. They're taking over. Isn't that what this is called? The Trans Am takeover. What I think of the car, honest to God, it wasn't until I saw the movie that I realized all the stunts. That apparently, I've only heard this hearsay, doesn't mean it's not true, but all those amazing car stunts, the chases and the car that jumps up on crashes up onto the flatbed, things and things and things and things, were just, that was it. First time any of those stunts had been done, and they were created by Hal and Alan Gibbs, am I correct? And Janet was the driver for Sally, and I understand there was one scene when she actually was doubling Bert, but that's very, you'll never know unless we tell you that. Because and Alan Gibbs was doubling Sally. Somehow or another it was craziness in the seats that got, I don't know. But it was covered well by the editing, again, the editors. And I don't know, Sally can play Bert, what can I tell you? Janet can play Bert. Yeah, okay. Janet who? Janet Brady. She got married on the movie. Hal gave her away. She married Alan Gibbs. And again, I didn't know her yet. I just met her. So I heard about that once we became friends, and I went to their house, Alan and Janet's house, and learned about all this and started hearing more fabulous stories about Smokey and the Bandit. So that's my source. And then, of course, my friendship with Hal, but you know, he's a big-time director. Knock, knock, knock. Can I come in, please? I used to just barge in and say hello at the Stunts Unlimited office. Now I'm being very polite. And I was in three more projects that Hal directed. One of them was Hooper. Another one was The Cannonball Run. And the other one was a pilot or was it just a TV movie called Stunts Unlimited? And I don't think much ever came of that. Did it air?
Yeah.
Okay, it aired. Back in those days, you'd have a TV movie that was 2 hours. Huh?
Called it Stunts. They didn't call it Unlimited.
They just called it Stunts? Yeah. Anyway, that's the kind of what happens with movies. They'll have a working title sometimes, and then there'll be a final title. And if you were privy to what's filming or what's going on, you would hear about those two titles, or the one that's the working title, and then maybe a year or two or even 3 later, depending on all the money that's needed nowadays to get a movie edited and put together, could be a new title. It varies. So that's kind of behind the scenes, unless you know about movie making. It takes a lot of time. Smokey and the Bandit didn't. It takes a lot of money. Smokey and the Bandit didn't. Pretty amazing story. Because Hal knew what he was doing, Alan knew what he was doing, all the stuntmen were good, very good. We actors that were chosen, we knew our stuff. Or so it seems. Anyway, we did. And I'm very proud to have been part of it. And I must say that my whole life since then, I can't say it's around that, but it sure did start with that. I've done a lot of theater. I come from the theater. I did Broadway and I did musicals all over the country and toured Europe. I entertained the Army in the USO. And then I thought I want to do some movies. So the first one, other than doing some extra, which is how I actually met Hal, I became an actress and did parts. So that's pretty cool. And looking back all these years, oh my God. Is anybody here as old as I am? Anyway, it's not that I'm old. I'm young at heart, but years are years. That's what they are.
Well, these are amazing stories. I wanted to share one bit with everybody. I've gotten to talk to her over the last few months.
Well, thank you.
And it's been a treat. And so, and she tell amazing stories. Y'all just heard from Linda McClure, our very own Waynette Snow from Smokey and the Bandit. She brought warmth and heart to a film that's meant so much to so many of us. And now, she's getting ready for a new chapter, moving to Georgia to be closer to the folks who can help care for her. That kind of move isn't easy, and it sure isn't free. If you're able, we'd sure appreciate your help. Every donation counts, big or small. You can scan the QR code on your screen or just click the link in this post. Let's take care of our own. That's what family does.